welcome to the form. It's the first Group 1 of the new season, the Tarzino Trophy at the Bay this weekend. So we've got the usual crew back in to talk about all of the action. Aidan Rodley, Bevan Sweeney and Leith Innes. And we've got a jam-packed show because this is what we'll be talking about. Of course, the Group 1, we're doing that first, the Tarzino Trophy, our Hastings 3-year-old preview. We look forward to the Ruakaka, Sir Colin Meads and the Gold Trail Stakes for the fillies. The racetrackers, our Ruakaka preview. We've got to check out a couple of the features on their card. Then we're heading to Australia, of course. I Wish I Win kicks off his Everest campaign in the Moore Stakes. The Whanganui greyhound preview. There's Group 1 action on Friday night for the dogs. And our best bets to round out the show. We're off to the Bay for the first day of the Hawkesbury Spring Carnival. So, Bevan, as I say hello to you, sounds like we're getting that beautiful bay weather.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, spring is in the air, and it certainly has been in the Bay across the last couple of weeks. I think anywhere else in the country would be on a heavy 10, not at Hastings. And we're forecast for 24 degrees on Saturday. They have had a couple of mils of rain overnight, so the track is at a soft 5. They have been irrigating earlier on in the week. It's been very warm. They've had strong winds. So this track has dried out incredibly, Pip. That rail coming back into the true position on a good 4 is going to make really interesting watching early on in the program out of the Bay, but set for a great day of racing.
Oh, we certainly are. So let's take a look at the market for the feature, the Westbury Stud Tarzino Trophy. And Crocetti still heads the betting at $2, coming up with barrier number 9. Then you've got Skewiff, she's back to try and take it out once again at $6, and Waitak at 12 is your other runner on that double figure line. What about the speed, Leith? Who do you see setting up the pace here?
Well, you'd think Bonnie Lass will probably lead from barrier 6, Pip. Sacred Satana's drawn in at 3, so look, Ryan Elliott's got the option of jumping out, leading, or Crocetti from barrier 9 will probably come across, and I'm picking Bonnie Lass will lead, Pip, and Crocetti sits outside. You got Waitak drawn the inside at 1. He'll probably be 3 back the rails. A horse like Skewiff's going to be a little bit interesting from barrier 3. Opie's going to have to go forward a little bit and try and get in midfield with a bit of cover. Yeah,
it's really interesting, isn't it, the speed map? I thought Sacred Satana might be a little bit more aggressive out of the gates. Frioloni will take up the trail if there's too much pressure. And whatever they do with Crocetti, I think if it rolls forward, I think it finds a slot. If they want to sit back, I think it can find a slot just in behind them as well. Bonnie Lass, I think she smokes in the perfect position to be the biggest danger to the short price favourite.
Yeah, she's going to be handy for sure. The interesting thing is really how does Opie play Skewiff from a wide gate? And I thought the other really key horse in this speed map was Blissful Bell. Where do they get to with Blissful Bell? How positive do they want to be? Do they want to be up in that early rush with the likes of Crocetti and Bonnie Lass and company? Or will they be a little bit more conservative? And if they're going to be conservative, then they could be posted 3 wide and give Skewiff the cover that maybe she'd take advantage of. I don't know, Leith, where did you have those 2 horses in particular? Skewiff from barrier 11 and Blissful Bell.
You know, Opie, he's a barrier 11, but he'll get probably 1 off the rail midfield somewhere for a bit of cover. But I just thought Bonnie Lass, if you go back through the BDC sprint when she won at Wait for Age, she led up at pretty good sectionals. And Crocetti set off, and look, that race, Farragalloni was just in the trail as well. So I'm pretty sure the map's going to be pretty similar. And I just think Crocetti's going to get that nice run just outside the leader.
So that's what the guys are thinking it'll set up like over the 1,400 metres as we take you back to some form. And obviously the key lead-in race is the Group 2 Foxbridge Plate. And Aidan, I'm going to start with you because your girl here, Bonnie Lass, was very good.
She was terrific. She got a beautiful ride from Craig Grills this day. Obviously saved ground, came out at the right time and got away from the fence, which wasn't running so well. Opie was following through on Skewiff, and her run was good. She'll be a big improver into this as well. And then out wide we saw some really nice runs. Malaston, obviously. Waitak was getting to the line nicely. Puntura very good as well. Sacred Satana probably not quite as good as we expected, but speaking to Grant Cooksley at Matamata on Wednesday, he's really happy with the way that horse has come on.
Yeah, Bonnie Lass out of the race too. She paraded quite big. You'd think she'd take natural improvement out of the run as well. So look, I think Waitak's probably a forgotten horse in the race. He was flushed, you know, he had to make a long run from the half mile and he was flushed wide and he just peaked on his run a bit. So I think if there was a big improver in the race, it's definitely Waitak.
I think Bonnie Lass looks the biggest danger. I think Skewiff, for me personally, and I hope he's a genius, but every time I map it, I find a difficult spot for Skewiff. So he'll have to make a really strong early decision. I agree with Waitek, who was flushed out wide and buffeted as well. But don't forget Pintura as well. That was some effort. Let's go to Crescetti at Ruakaka for the debut run this preparation. I thought, wow, what a will to win. And you see Blissful Bell here as well, who I think will hold a spot and not give skill effort back to follow. But this was all about Crescetti Leith and how good he looked coming back to the trials after that fresh up run. He took no ill effect out of Ruakaka.
No, certainly. You thought that run at Ruakaka might have knocked him around a little bit because he had a hard run. Look, he paraded at Taupo. He looked spot on. And one thing I like about him, he gets left-handed. He looks so much more comfortable going left-handed. He gets into a nice rhythm and... you know, he's a $2 favourite and he's definitely the one they all have to beat.
I agree with you entirely, Lee. That was the thing we were looking for in that Taupo trial, just to see were there signs of tiredness from what would have been a taxing first up run, first up on a heavy track at Ruakaka. You're just thinking it must have taken something out of him. But he's just such a winner. He was so good in that trial. Take Blissful Bell out and he wins it by 9, beating home some pretty handy horses in that trial. Blissful Bell was pretty good. And you know, for me, she's just a really interesting horse, and just how this race shape takes effect. Next one we want to have a look at here is this Farrelleone's trial. I thought was very good. And behind them, Snazzy Tasby and Grail Seeker. They both look as though they're coming up well, but this is a step up like Blissful Bell. But Farrelleone's been knocking on the door on Group 1 level. I thought it was a super trial, Lee.
Yeah, she's a little bit underrated. She never goes a bad race. Best thing about her, she's got barrier 2, so Jonathan will just sit in the trail. I thought Grail Seeker was massive in the trial. She never got out of second gear. She's got a nice gait. She can probably be 3 back, 1 out. You know, if there is one at odds, Grail Seeker's probably about $5 top 3, so she could be a worth a play.
I do agree. I think Grail Seeker has looked very good at the trials. But Farrelleone, I think, would have been better positioned if that track had stayed in the soft range. That said, she has surprised us on top of the ground. Hasn't surprised Josh, but from the training position, she can definitely run in the money. And I think Grail Seeker is in a very similar slot to be an outside chance, top 3. Probably wouldn't surprise to see Grail Seeker flashing at the line and Farrelleone at the inside, because you just have to think that inside part of the track pip is going to be really strong. They've been further out throughout the winter. Rails come back in, good for, might be lightening up the rail.
Yeah, it could be, and there are ways to play this race, not always on the nose. As we head to hear what some connections have to say about their chances in the Group 1, we'll start with Grant Cooksley and Adam. Just asked him how Sacred Totono is going into the weekend.
It was quite a nice run. He whacked away, but he wasn't real comfortable in the ground, and it's true, Harper can get like some horses handle it, some don't. But no, he has improved with that run, so should be there somewhere.
I expect he'll be sort of maybe a spot closer, but I don't think we'll be rushing too much. There'll still be that genuine speed with Bonnie Lass and Crescetti. So, yeah, I think the 1400 is definitely going to help.
Yeah, we were really pleased. Look, we had him pretty fit, and you know, he pulled up really well from it. Not all things went his way. He got pretty wide, but he kept up a strong gallop, and you know, his best work at the line. And he certainly indicated like he wants to go a little further, and he'll certainly get that this weekend. And you know, one thing's a big change for him. He's drawn the inside, not the outside, and you know, hopefully he can utilise his gait a wee bit. Lance was a bit keen to sort of get along a wee bit more on him, and just sort of try and keep them in their sights, because there's going to be a much different race this weekend with the quick ground and the 1400. So yeah, look, he's gone. He's had a good fortnight. We've only ticked him over. He was very forward going into the race the other day. So yeah, we think he's going to be a lot more competitive on the quick ground and up to the 14. He's worked the best going in. You know, his work's been very, very good. You know, we missed the trial there. He goes in without a trial, but he's done a heck of a lot of work on the track there at home. He's sort of on a quick bounce out of Brisbane, and none will parade looking better than him. He looks amazing, the 4-year-old colt. We think he's up to a Group 1, standard, but just whether this race might be just 2 or 3 months too soon. No, we're pleased. You know, she's got a good gait. It's going to aid her a wee bit. Just 1 or 2 of the good ones are drawn a little wider, which certainly, hopefully, they'll get along at a good gallop and really set it along for our 3 to sort of hopefully get over them late. But you know, she's a good mare, and she's another. Just whether it's just 6 or 3 months too soon for her, we're going to find out on the weekend. But all 3 will make a strong account.
She's doing really well. She's pulled up well, come through that race at Te Rapa well. I got to be honest, she surprised me with the track conditions, how well she performed. That she's 100% grit, you know, she tries hard. And saying that also, I looked at the times, we were running 1:14s in the day, and I thought they'd be running a bit slower than that. It's a great drying track, so yeah, she's done very well.
She's always a bit woolly in the coat. She hasn't really come on in the coat yet, but just her demeanour, just as I say, she's got that attitude about her, and she's just got a bit of a swagger about her since the first up run at the Foxbridge, and we just think she's going forward at the right time, and looks as though the weather conditions down there will be really good.
There you go, so for backers of Skewiff, good to hear that she's going forward like this time last year. Leith, as we get to you, who's your pick in the Group 1?
It's pretty hard to go past Crosetti. Pip, look, the Barrier 9's a little bit of a, he's going to have to do a little bit of work, Warren, but I think he can just pop Posy just outside the leader. Waitak, Bonnie Lass, they're going to be hard to beat. And going out of the race for the Aerofield, I just have a sneaky suspicion Snazzy Tavi or Grail Seeker could be one to watch out of the race.
Yeah, I'm with Crosetti. I think either way, if they go forward, if they just that slightly bit negative at the start, will find the right spot, and he's the benchmark for mine. I will say Bonnie Lass, big danger if she gets the right run in front of him.
Yeah, I agree. They were the two that I got it down to as well. I'm going to go Crosetti. I just love what I've seen from him, especially that trial at Taupo, but Bonnie Lass did beat him in the BCD groups front when she was giving him 1.5 kilograms. This time, Crosetti is giving her 1.5 kilograms. There's a 3 kilogram swing. She's a form horse out of the Foxborough. She's trained on, so yeah, fingers crossed she can do the job. But yeah, head says Crosetti, Pit.
Yeah, a little bit of heart and head there, Aidan. Good luck to you with Bonnie Lass. But all the boys with Crosetti on top of your Group 1 feature. 4:28 on Saturday. And don't forget to, we do have the bonus back in play with the TAB from Hastings across the first 4 races. So get involved, a meeting you do not want to miss. We continue with our Hastings preview. This time, though, we turn our attention to the 3-year-olds, and we'll start with the listed Al Rocker Sir Colin Meads Trophy here. We're moved to Strike as your favourite and has been backed into clear favouritism as well, 2.40 into 2.30. Then you've got Savagly at $2.80 and Super Photon on that third line of betting at $4.40. Horse we want to highlight for you first. Let's take you back to Savagly, and obviously Super Photon comes out of this race as well. Leith, you were quite keen on Super Photon here.
Yeah, things didn't really go right here. Look, he's gone for a run here in the middle of Savagly and got shut out. One thing I did take out of the race, so Savagly won pretty easy. You see the last sort of 50 metres, he starts pricking his ears. So he had a little bit left in the tank as well. So, it's a pretty strong race. Super Photon was really good through the long day.
I just wonder about when we get into that good track conditions around Savagly. I remember that first up performance down at Trentham was massive, and then just had a couple of mediocre spots, but that fresh up run was fantastic. Super Photon just needs to keep on getting better and better manners-wise and just learning how to balance up. So just a watch on Savagly for me on Saturday.
Yeah, they're both pretty raw still, but with oodles of ability. Savagly, we watched him work on Tuesday. He looked very good, but he just played up a little bit going out on the track. He's still a colt and a $400,000 buy as well. He was good, as Leith said, at the end of that. Super Photon did take ground off him at the end and ran the quickest last 200 of the race, equal quickest last 600 along with Savagly, but two exciting young horses going places, and both of them colts as well. Another colt we're going to have a look at here is your favourite. They just moved to Strike. Boy, he was good in the 1 or 2 sires last preparation. He's trialled up very well for this. He's a benchmark on ratings and on what he's done, and he seems to be going into the right order, Lee.
It certainly is. Opie rode him that day as well. He's one of those colts, he's underrated. We could all see what he done first couple of runs in. That's Amabella Lass outside him, so it's no disgrace to be beaten by her, but he's had 2 trials under his belt now. I can't quite have him on top this week. I'd rather see him at 1400 or a mile, so I think it's just a bit of a stepping stone this week. I'm
pretty keen on him. He's a Group 1 winner. Colt by him, invincible, 1200 metres shouldn't be against him, you wouldn't think. 57 kilos, Opie Bolson in the Tiakau colours. I think he sits just off a lightning speed here, and I think you'll see him powering home, Pip.
He's a very nice horse as we head back out to the track now. We're going to start with Pam Gerard, and Aidan just asked her how she assessed Savagly's run at Taupo.
Yeah, he wasn't quite screwed down, obviously. It was just a day out for him, and he did it with a little bit of arrogance, I think. He sort of looked like he was only going to do there, and then he kicked in. So ears pricked. He loved the day out. He's come on really nicely, and I think we've got him spot on for Saturday.
Just a big, strong colt now, and his 2-year-old form was good. But as a rule, the progeny of I'm Invincible do get better at 3 and 4, and Imperatrice is probably the greatest example of that. And we expect him to run really well.
Really, really good. Stephen's wrapped with him. He said he'll take massive improvement heading into Saturday, especially on a better track. And 100 under his belt, and he's going to be right bang on.
Yeah, is he trained to your satisfaction leading in?
Yeah, Stephen's wrapped with him.
I don't know if that helps or hinders because this is an open affair, Bevan. So who's on top for you?
Look, I am going to stick with the obvious and looking at Remove to Strike. I think he is a very talented colt who seems to have come to it. He had a few moments where we thought, is he really the polished product that they suggested? And I'm going with him to come off a really hot tempo and be too good on Saturday.
Yeah, certainly. I'm just going to take that race day fitness. Look, Savagely was really good at Taupo, but I like the run of Super Photon. I think they're going to go hard enough. If Super Photon just gets a sort of fourth one out, I think he's one they will have to beat on Saturday.
Yeah, we're talking about 3 really high-class ones, and then you've got the likes of Poetic Champion and others as well. This is a terrific running of this Colin Meads trophy. I'm going to go the top of the book with Bevan. I'm going to go Move to Strike. I know how highly that they rate this horse, and obviously he's a Group 1 winner, so he's a benchmark on class as well. Been happy enough with his trials. I think he's the horse to beat.
Okay, so a little bit in agreement there with the boys. Let's move on to race number 7 now, and this is the Group 3 HPPB Thoroughbred Breeders Gold Trail Stakes, and our favourite Alabama Lass at $1.95 for Ken and Bev Calso, captured by Love, $4.60 holding her quote. Then you've got Velocious at $6, and there has been a bit of money for the other Te Akau runner here, Damask Rose, Whanganui Pinroads, $26 and 2.18. That's how the market is playing. Let's take you back to some form. Bevan, let's have a look at Alabama Lass again at Taupō. Did she impress you most out of this, or did you like something else behind?
Well, the thing about this race is I don't shop 195 on Alabama Lass. Taupo suited her. She's very wayward. She is very, very smart, and I'd love to see her winning because then we've got another 3-year-old to pin our colours to going forward. Has Velocious lost a leg or something in between times? Her body work last time was fantastic. I forgive her the soft track conditions. She gets on a good track condition from a decent draw if she jumps and works them a little bit. I just think she's at crazy money, and I've got a lot of time and respect for the Te Akau horse. Very exciting prospect. Second up last season, well beaten by, captured by Love, win very, very green. I hope it wins. I hope that Alabama Lass comes out and wins because it will be really exciting as a 3-year-old going forward. But price is too short for me.
Yeah, I certainly think that margin didn't tell the whole story. Look, if Velocious had her head in the gates, look, she went off a little bit at Taupo. She was fresh up. Look, she had 3 kilos more than the Alabama Lass. Look, she was caught wide, no cover. She was at Taupo. A little bit of a forgive for sure. But Alabama Lass, she's pretty classy and speedy, so she's going to jump out and probably sit outside the leader. Yeah,
I agree. That vet check prior to the race just didn't help things, did it, with Velocious, and she didn't run up to her best, no doubt. So she will be an improver into this. Just in behind, the runs of Archaic Smile and Sister Ping were both very good, but obviously Alabama Lass very good. Let's take you to Velocious and Damask Rose. Obviously, this is a performance from Damask Rose that says that she's not that far away. She's trialled up very nicely coming into this. The opening price was just, it seemed to be wrong, but she does need to improve a little bit as well. But she does push Velocious, and on this she's got to be some sort of chance. But again, Leith, it's just an outline of how good Velocious actually is.
Exactly. Apparently Damask Rose and Captured by Love, they had a gallop on Monday at Taupo, and yeah, my mail was Damask Rose was going every bit as good, if not better. So look, that was only her second run in the Karaka Millions as well. So she's lightly tried, and she's, if there is going to be a blowout, it'd be on Damask Rose for sure.
You reckon Damask Rose up over a trip's going to be stunning this season? The 3-year-old filly, Velocious, that was her grand final. She went to the size and had an off track, and then she's just got a forgive run last start. So look, I'm just quite keen on the each way around a couple outside of the short price. Captured by Love is one of those. And look, this is a really interesting race, speed map-wise, because I think if they don't use the gate on Velocious, then she could be 3-4 back the fence. Pleasing has only one way of doing it. Apprentice on, Renovations can kick early. And if they don't lethal work Alabama Lass a little bit, I know she's quick out of the gates, and they're probably not doing their jobs, because if she gets across and leads without working at all, then they probably are chasing a memory.
Yeah, exactly. I think what we're going to see Opie on Catcher by Love. He's going to just hold his spot, so he's going to be in the 1-1 where he'll make Sam work from the outside gate as well. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you'll see Opie just do enough just behind the speed, and he'll get his horse to switch off, and he'll get the last run at them somewhere too.
And Captured by Love was terrific last preparation, which she started, like the main danger in the Group 1 at Ellerslie to Velocious and ran a really creditable third. Prior to that, she'd beaten home Alabama Lass in the Group 2 Matabana Breeder Stakes. Archaic Smile and Renovations were others who were chasing in her wake. She's a quality filly. Interesting to get that mail about that Topol Gallop from Leith, but you can see Opie Boss on a board Captured by Love, so yeah, you put a tick beside it in that regard.
You absolutely do, and let's see if we can get some more mail, and we'll start with Reece Milden. Aidan just asked him what he made of Velocious' run at Topol.
Yeah, a bit of a head scratcher. She had a lot of weight and a little bit of an off track, but she's impressed Stephen since. He's happy that she's going down in the weights, back to set weights, improved track, and looking for a big improvement in her effort.
Look, she's drawn one. She's drawn the ace. Sam's galloped her before. Look, we're happy with her. There's some pretty talented horses there, and we're going to have to be on our A game. But she's a top 3 chance if she runs up to her best.
Yeah, done really well since Taupo, Aidan. Pleased with her. She worked nicely on the course proper this morning. No, very pleased.
She's a genuine group class filly, and she's bigger, she's stronger, and she was big and strong last year, but she's even more powerful this year. Damaris Rose, she only had 2 starts as a 2-year-old. She ran second in the Cracker Millions, and her work, Opie was really happy with how she worked at Taupo.
Okay, time for selections again. Sweens, it sounds like you don't want to take the 195 around Alabama Lass, so who are you with?
I'm going to go with Velocious, and I'll also be covering on Captured by Love. This is not potting Alabama Lass in any way, shape or form. She gets across and leads without spending a penny, then they'll be in a lot of trouble. But from that draw, I know she's really quick, but they've got to work her a little bit and not let her get across. So I'm just going with Velocious. She either tracks up Alabama Lass or Alabama Lass might get caught wide. So just shopping a horse I was really wrapped in last season in Velocious.
Yeah, I think if Alabama Lass was drawn 5 to sort of 1 in the barriers, she'd be probably $1.60. Look, they'll make Sam work a little bit, but I'll just have it just on top from Catcher by Love. I think Opie's going to get the perfect trip just off behind the speed, and he'll be dashing late. And if Sam's spent too much petrol, I think Catcher by Love could pick her up late.
I think riders will be wary about making her work too hard as well, though, because they've got Group 1 aspirations of their own. They don't want to be sort of making themselves work too hard just for the fact of making Alabama Lass work too hard. She's got immense speed. She showed that at both ends at Taupo. She just looks like an improving filly with real class and quality. I think she'll be too fast.
Yeah, it's going to be a cracking race. That's race number 7 on the program. The first race from the Bay gets underway 11:50 trackside 1 Saturday. And it's time for some spring race trackers, and as usual we always start with you, Leith Innes. So who have you found this time?
Oh, there's a few to find at Cambridge last week at the Trolls Pip. Lance Noble had a really strong team, but Jafari, here she is back last with the big shadow roll, and she's freshened up from a mile, and Lance has got sort of a few good targets in mind, something like the Ritual Mile, but I think she's come back bigger and stronger, and she's definitely one to watch over the summer months.
I'm going to take you to Whanganui on Saturday, and a horse who's in for a big season. This is a sprint trip. One bold cat. Watch this down the outside. Won by a very smart mare in Hayo Sasbon, but sectionally he's gone sensationally down towards the outside. That's Spencer in the centre, who's been brilliant this preparation, but he's only going to get out over more ground, and once he gets that opportunity he'll be chasing and maybe winning one of the big staying races in New Zealand.
Okay, look forward to seeing this horse next up, but here's one that I think everyone saw it. You can see it's in the colourful silks of the owner there. Anna Furlong now has Goldie's Chance, who was good enough to be winning a Gold Guineas at listed level prior. This was a day where it seemed to be, you had to be on speed. For Goldie's Chance to come from as far back as she did and deliver a performance of this quality was outstanding, and she looks as though she's come back better than ever, and she'll be one to follow right through the preparation.
And I'm going to take you back to Tuesday at Palmerston North. The par with Shirley here. She's obscured out wide in the green rug. She's the younger half-sister to a par with Superstar. She was absolutely a black booker. I thought the best black booker of the day here. You see that check she gets there. She loses another length. She gets a check there, goes back. She dives late and almost picks up third. I just think follow her. Particularly, she'll probably be back at her home track for Jane and Dave down at Addington Raceway. She's coming off the back of a restricted age win prior to this, and boy, she was unlucky. So one to follow as we get closer and closer to Cup Week. Here is a summary. Jaffe for Leith, Bevins with one bold cat, Aiden with Goldie's chance, and on with the par with Shirley. Note them down and chuck them in your black book. Our second domestic meeting this weekend is up at Ruakaka. So Aidan, as we head back to you, are we getting the same kind of weather conditions that we expect at the Bay?
I think we are really, because yeah, it's like this the whole way around the country, and it's just swarmed up. Apparently there's a La Nina weather pattern at the moment that's meant that everywhere is nice and warm, not quite the 24 degrees at Hastings, but 20 degrees, and obviously this track does dry out well. We've seen a few wet tracks at Ruakaka, which has played havoc with the form a bit, but a soft track this week.
That's what we want to be hearing. It usually is the Winterless North as we take a look at the first market race, number 5 on the program, the Harcourts Tai Tokoro Cup here, and favourite Mahajan at $2.90. Bosch at $3.10, one of the locals, Fly My Way at $5.50, and my Maybelline Girl, the other runner in single figures, at $6. Speaking of Bosch, let's go back to the recent win on this track, and Leith had really been building towards this and sticks at the same weight.
Yeah, his run before this was really good, Pip, and look, he's going to strike a lot better track conditions than he had here on the 3rd of August, so there's been a bit of a break between his runs. But, you know, home track, Michelle Bradley, she's a very good trainer, and Kelly Myers is on this week. She's having her first ride on the horse as well, so there's a little bit of like, he won pretty easy in the end here as well.
It was a very easy win in the end, wasn't it? Just blitzed them, and obviously still on 54, just the way that this race comes together with Marajan in there. But Marajan, my Maybelline Girl, above it in the weights will be interesting. Marajan was pretty good resuming, and second up you'd expect to be improved, just getting up to a more suitable trip as well. Seems to be going really well, so yeah, real respect around the quality of this galloper.
Yeah, Mahajan was fantastic, and you'd expect her to train on. It's True Boost stayer in the making, and looking towards Melbourne, I understand. 59 kilos doesn't play against it. I just like what Bosch did. Michelle's got it set for, was it a Waikato or Counties Cup? Speaking to her post that particular win, 54 kilos absolutely suits my eye around Bosch, and I'm expecting it to get very close to winning. Leith, your thoughts?
Yeah, look, he was massive first up at 1,400 metres. He had the red light on him, but yeah, step up to 2,200 metres. Sean's a very good trainer in column. I can't quite have him on top this week. Narco Kaylee takes the 3 kilos off, gets down to 59, but yeah, I'm definitely on Bosch for sure.
Okay, so Leith, well, we already know your selection. What about you, Aidan? Is it between those two for you?
Yeah, I just went to Marajan at the top of the book. I know there's a big difference in weights, but he's quality, so happy to see improvement from him second up.
5 kilos off around Bosch, who's clearly a pretty talented stayer. So on with Leith. Kelly Myers riding nicely as well. Down in lightweight, going places, a nice stayer in Bosch.
Okay, now let's move on to race number 7 on the market. This time we drop back in distance to the 1,400 metres for the Harcourts at Bream Bay. And our favourite, Malt Time, $3.80. Pearl of Alsace at $4.60, El Vencedor at $4.80, and Chattahoochee at $6.50. Let's go back to Malt Time. This is her winning the ITM Championship here, and she was too good on this occasion, Leith.
Yeah, she was miles too good. Look, Ace Lawson Carroll's got a good record with her now. Look, the best thing about her, she's had 3 starts at Ruakaka for 3 wins, and she's perfectly placed at the weight. She's 59, 2 kilos off of Ace, so she gets down to that beautiful weight of 57.5, and I don't know how they can beat her, really.
Agreed. Very, very difficult to beat her on Saturday. She's Group 1 quality mare with a couple of kilos coming off her back from a draw that should get her one off, and A-Rod with more than a couple of Group 1 performers in this particular field. Hard to say she's a home run, but she looks hard to beat.
Loves Ruakaka, 3 from 3 at the track, and you'd think this would be a prep run for the Group 1 Arrowfield stud Playton, which she ran second last year, so it'll be interesting, but there is a quality one in there. Don't disregard Pearl of Alsace. I know that the trial was a little bit plain. It just wasn't what we were expecting, but we did see her in an exhibition gallop at Cambridge last week. And boy, she looked as though she'd trimmed up. She looked as though she's come on from this trial, and we know how good she is. I think she's the best horse in the race, and for that reason, I'm with her here.
Yeah, I just think they've definitely got Hawke's Bay in the back of their minds, a Group 1 over a mile. It's really going to suit her. Interesting, Kelly Myers has stayed up at Ruakaka to ride her, so look, she must have the heads up that she's going to ride her at Hawke's Bay as well. I just can't quite have her on top. I just think Malt Time's record at Ruakaka 3 from 3, and she gets 57.5 kilos.
Big fish to fry again for Pearl of Alsace, so I'm going to go with Leith around Malt Time, but love her. Pearl of Alsace is a quality mare, and you'll see her in the big races throughout the summer and into the spring. So just with Malt Time on top for me.
We've already mentioned Kelly Myers is riding Pearl of Alsace, and Aidan just asked her how happy she is to get on a horse like that.
Yeah, it is nice to get on a nice mare like that. I galloped her at Cambridge the other day, and she gave me a really good feel. Obviously, as you said, quality mare resuming. I still need to go back through all her replays and watch them, but she's got a good winning strike rate, and had a quick chat to Sam Weatherly about her. He's ridden the mare a lot, and he was telling me he thought he was home in the Livermore on her, and felt like she hit the front a little bit too soon. So he really likes her, and he said, yeah, just be patient on her, don't hit the front too soon. And yeah, I think whatever she does on Saturday, she's probably going to improve with it, and yeah, nice mare to go forward.
He's good, he's really good. As Stephen keeps saying, he doesn't do a lot fresh, we're not expecting much. He's just up there for a day out and a trip away and strip a bit of the fat off, but it'll be good to see him back again.
One thing about him though, he is so competitive, you couldn't count him out, could you?
No, never, that's for sure. But he's carrying a bit of extra kg at the moment, that's for sure. But it'll just be exciting to see him up over more ground in a few weeks' time.
There's a Group 1 winner in that field, so we're just hoping for the best. He comes in with 53 on Saturday, so he had a jump out on Monday at Ellerslie and he felt real good, and Carly's going to throw the blinkers back on him, so hopefully he sharpens up for Saturday, and yeah, we're hoping for a good run from him.
There you go, that's the thoughts from around the track, and as you heard from the guys, it's between the top two for them, Malt Time and Pearl of Alsace. And at Ruakaka, if you are liking something, well, we've got the Odd Surge in play too on each and every race, so you can turn that little toggle on and get a little bit more for your investment. And the first race from Ruakaka on a 9-race program is 12:05 Saturday. I Wish I Win is on his path to the Everest, and he kicks off his campaign in the Group 1 Moy Stakes this weekend as we take a look at the market. Doesn't hit the betting though, he's currently on that third line at $4.60. Lady of Camelot at $3.50 and Estriella at $3.60 also keep safe in the market. Let's go back to the Pakenham Trials here and have a look at I Wish I Win. Leith, what did you make of this?
Yeah, look, he was really good, Pip. I'm just not quite sure if Moonee Valley's really going to suit him, though. Obviously, his main target's the Everest. Look, I wouldn't say that he can't come out and win the race, Pip, but I think it's just one of those races where you want to just watch him out of it. And look, Luke Nolan's on this week as well, so it's a bit of a plus. But I just can't have him on top this week.
Obviously, he's coming up really nice. We're hearing from Peter Moody. If you follow his Twitter page, he's posting his track work. He's really happy with them, and we know the quality of this horse. Last seen winning a Kingsford Smith Cup, he was so close in a Doomben 10,000, so close to the stablemate earlier on in the TJ Smith, and of course ran that great race for a second in the Everest, which is where he's heading. I thought the 3-year-olds had a real hand in this race. Hayasugi was a horse who really caught my attention last preparation. Really liked what I saw from this horse. I thought $12 was a great price. A Blue Diamond winner, just got things wrong in the Golden Slipper, but had beaten home Lady of Camelot, who is the favourite for this race in that Blue Diamond last preparation. Run good. There's Johnny Rocker as well, who pushed Imperatriz to second place in one of those Group 1s in Melbourne last spring too. So I just thought Hayasugi was a decent chance here at a big price. Although I'm interested to get your thoughts, Leith. Who are you with?
Yeah, Jamie Carr gets on. It gets a lightweight of 50 kilos as well. Yeah, Lady Camelot's another horse. Yeah, won the Golden Slipper. So it's probably, to be fair, the field's probably come up a lot stronger than it was last year. Imperatriz probably scared a few of them out, but. Look, Estrella's the one I really like out of the race. Fresh Up Record's great. She had a nice quiet trial here. She was in front. Blake Shin sticks as well. So, look, she's $3.60. She's going to have to do a little bit of work from barrier 8, but I think she can cross them and lead quite easily. One
thing about her, look, she's been listed class in the past. I thought this was, a massive step up for her. She did run 5th in the Sangster at Group 1 level, and this was a lovely trial. What's got you putting her so far in front of the others, Lee?
Look, she's just one of those high-class fillies. There was an interview of Kira Maher on TV the other day, and he rates her really highly. So I think it's, as we all know, a Group 1 race. I think he'll have a super fit this week, and if she leads, and, wouldn't be surprised if she leads. If they go too hard, Wish I Win might get the drop of them late, but I think Estella this week for me.
Yeah, great races, and of course Imperatriz winning this race last year with great memories as well. I'm with Hayasugi, but respect what Leith was saying, especially when Kieran Maher pushed one out there. They've got all the science behind them. Just amazing the scientists that they have actually got on their staff, bringing them all that data, and they know when one's going well.
Oh, they certainly do. So there you go. That's what the guys are liking in the Group 1 more stakes out of the Valley. And there is a bonus back opportunity available as well across the first 4 races, firstly, out of the Valley and the Randwick. And also on the more stakes itself, you can back I Wish I Win to win. And if he finishes 2nd to 4th, you'll have bonus cash coming your way as well with the TABs. Tune in, 6:50, the Group 1. We look forward to Group 1 action out at Hattrick Raceway on Friday night with the Whanganui Cup, and that means it is my pleasure to have Mark Rosanowski join us on the form.
Yeah, hi Pip. Look, Whanganui Cup, Whanganui Stayers, one a Group 1, one a Group 2, middle distance dogs, then distance dogs. It's a cracking night, premier night of racing action, and we've got greyhounds coming from around the country after we had the heats last week, and gee, the Canterbury visitors, they had a fair sort of a night 7 days ago.
Certainly did, and we're going to take a look at the heats, but let's first take a look at the market. Race number 9 on the program. He's All Go is your favourite, going for his 6th Group 1, $1.60. Let Him Cook, $5 in this market. Blazing Master at $7.50, and Charlie Horse, the other runner, in single figures at $9. Let's go back to Let Him Cook. He did take out the heat in a sensational time as well, and that means that He's All Go just run into 2nd here, Rozzo.
Yes, as we freeze them here, Let Him Cook very quickly off the lids, 5 seconds flat early. He's All Go came away from the rail and into Alpha Rambo there, and that had some knock-on effects. Gee, Alpha Rambo did well to recover and run 4th in this. Jay Walker sneaking through to 3rd there and has clocked 30 and 15, first time of asking around here, which is outstanding. Now, thought that He's All Go might be able to pick up Let Him Cook, but Let Him Cook was fair sizzling with a 29.81 home in an 11.30. Now, we know that He's All Go has got a sub 11.20 run home in him, but I think he will be improved out of the run, being 2nd back from 3 weeks after a minor injury, Pip. So Let Him Cook won that entirely on merit there for Matt Roberts. He's All Go, I think, further improved, and for the first time in his career, 2 defeats in a row for our favourite.
Yeah, and probably why you are getting around $1.60 despite the quality of the field. As we take a look at a dog that's very aptly named Blazing Master, it's incredible how many Group 1 finals he's made, Rozzo, and we'll see him cart across here and really put the pressure on from box 8.
Yes, and look out for the drama here. Charlie Horse in the black and white, and Who's Jealous in the gold. Now, Charlie Horse was getting into a lovely spot, got on the heels of Russian Ahead, came out, and Who's Jealous copped a 2nd bad check at that point. They both finished home very well. In terms of Blazing Master, he was able to slingshot Russian Ahead in a 5.04, and then from there, of course, away he goes. This dog is amazing, Pip. It's going to be his 11th Group 1 final. He's won 2 of them. He's been 5 times 2nd. He's on the cusp of 300,000. And he hasn't finished out of the money since March. 23 starts, all at the top level, Pip. I don't know how he does it, Blazing Master, but he keeps just turning up.
He really does, and he does have a hard draw to contend with as well out in box 8, but it's fantastic to see him there, Rozzo. As I get your selection, are you going with the Master or are you heading elsewhere?
No, look, I'm going to go with He's All Go. Now, he's $1.60. I don't think there's any fat there, but he's the basis, I think, for a same race multi, and I will be including dogs potentially like Who's Jealous, who I think is at pretty generous odds. Charlie Horse clearly was unlucky in that heat, so was Who's Jealous. So He's All Go on top for me for a 6th at Group 1. I think there'll be further improvement, and strangely enough, Pip, quite happy with box 4.
Yeah, and I hate to be boring, Rozzo, but I have to agree with you. I've got him on top. I just think the draw probably suits him better with that speedster to his immediate inside and rushing ahead. If I'm having a bet in the race, though, I'm probably having a go on Charlie Horse, top 3 at that $2 quote. I thought he was an absolute black booker. That's the feature, race number 9. Let's move on to the Group 2 now. Off the bat, race number 10 for the stayers. And Chief Dribble is our favourite at $1.90, your silver collar winner. Grandview Ace, though, she loves hat-trick. She's at $3.50 and No Defence. There has been money already for this greyhound. He's into $6 for Gary Cleve. Take you back to the heats and we'll start with a par with Corbin, and it was great to see him bounce back to winning form over the distance here, Rozzo.
It certainly was, and Dan Roberts, whether he had a good enough background on this campaign to actually have him ready for this, but he was very good. Now, the favourite's Chief Dribble in the blue rug, and don't want to make too many excuses for the dog, but every time he did try to make a run over the last lap, there was a bit of bother for him. In this race, a par with Corbin's about to loom up and around the outside 3 wide here and sprint around to the lead. So no excuses for the others because they had their opportunity. You'll see here in the blue rug, Chief Dribble coming up and then just getting onto the heels there of No Hurry, and out then into No Defence, and they come together again on the home bend. Now, they're not going to catch Opawa Corbin, who wins extremely well. No Hurry was game. Chief Dribble, by the time they got to the lure, was in front. I think that's important, Pip. I think it's also important to remember that his greatest performance so far in New Zealand has been the Duke of Edinburgh Silver Collar, and he didn't win the heat of that either. It was his first look around there. He'll be further improved. I think he's short enough in the market, but I expect him to be a real force in the Whanganui Stayers.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. As we take a look at the second heat, it was faster as well, and it was won by Grandview Ace, who's already a Group 1 winner on the track.
She's just been ridden to instruction here, Pip. Just dropped out the back of this small field and then followed the rail because no one else really wanted it, certainly not to the level that she did. Not quite Swift Fantasy material, but here she just can't really keep up because Drought has gone through the sprint split in 1760. Well, that would have had him into the feature sprint race finals, Pip. And he's hung in there like really tenaciously. But Grandview Ace, you can see, start to charge now. Johnny Football, the interesting runner, 755 metres for the first time. He just starts to feel the pinch now, but he's in it for a long way. And here comes Grandview Ace through along the inside with a storming run. Gets underneath Drought and away she goes. Yes, she has been a Group 1 winner here and, of course, at Addington as well in that New Zealand Stayers Cup. And she's a decent chance for 3. I think the full field might be against her, Pip. I'd love to see Grandview Ace win. You can certainly make a case for her, and I think she can do it, but it won't be quite so easy to come from where she did last week in an 8-dog field, and a good deep field as well, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's a really incredible field for the group. So I'm going to go with the little girl for Bob Pringle, Grandview Ace. I think she's a massive chance from box number 6. I do think Chief Dribble is a big improver out of the race, and she'll need that little bit of luck as well, Rozzo. But I'll go with the little girl, Grandview Ace. How about you?
Look, I'm going to go with Chief Dribble, and I hate to come on the form and tip out 2 sub-$2 favourites, Pip, but that's just the way I see it, unfortunately. So I think Matt Roberts can get this race, the Group 2. Of course, he's got a big chance with Let Him Cook in the Group 1, and of course, Gary Cleve got chances in both as well. So as I say, the Canterbury visitors had a good time last week, and we'll see if they can put the icing on the cake this week.
Yeah, we certainly will. Thanks very much for your time, Rozzo. We look forward to your commentary, and hey, maybe a little multi there with those shorties. And we also have this in play too, the Whanganui TAB rug bonus back. So you back the 3-dog wearing the TAB rug and it runs 2nd or 3rd. You'll have bonus cash coming your way on all races on Friday, including the Group 1 and the Group 2. So get involved with all of the action on Friday night. time to try and find you some winners for the Group 1 weekend. Leith, who are you with?
Certainly won't be picking a greyhound again this week, but look, I'm with Malt Time. Look, she opened up at $4. She's into $3.80. I thought a true price was probably about $3.20 to $3. So, look, she's going for 4 straight on the track. I think it can happen again this race, race 7, Malt Time.
Amazing what peer pressure does, eh, Rod? I'm going with Tess Win. Look, he's a group horse in a 65 Saturday, and he's got a massive, massive future. On a soft 6, I would have said climb in as hard as you can. Speaking to Guy last night, the good 4 might be a slight niggle, but he's one to really follow through the spring and summer.
Yeah, I'm taking you to Hat-Trick Race. No, actually, no. I'm going to go to the Gold Trail Stakes and go with Alabama Lass, who was so good at Topol the other day. Really blitzed them, and yeah, thought that she would come on with. She's an exciting prospect. I'm happy to make her my best.
I'm surprised he's dropped his dog. He is still running around in that Group 1 final, but I'm going to stick with a thoroughbred this time. Race number 1 at Ruakaka, Domain Ace. You can get $2.15 with him around the odd surge. I thought his fresh up run was good enough to say he can pick up another win second up this preparation. Here is a summary. So strict for Rozzo. He's jumping in there at Whanganui, race number 3 on our Group 1 night on Friday. The Whale with Jeremiah at Alexandra Park on Friday as well. Domain Ace for myself, Malt Time for Leith, Bevan with Tess Win, and Aiden's with Alabama Lass. And that completes the form once again. Thanks to the boys for joining us. We look forward to all of your coverage from Hastings. Make sure you're tuning in. We'll catch you back next week.